22 soldiers and veterans die a day from suicide. And I can't live with that. So I felt I needed to talk about PTSD from, my perspective and my experience. So I've done up this piece. It's called PTSD. Being diagnosed with and having PTSD has been one of the worst experiences of my life. There are so many things that come along with it that can make interacting with others difficult at times, and people don't understand you and how you act or why you act and react in certain ways. There's a stigma that comes with the diagnosis and is represented by the last letter in the acronym. That D stands for disorder, and that isn't a correct description. It's not a disorder. It is a psychological effect that occurs because of trauma. There are nights that you don't sleep because of hypervigilance. It's difficult to be in crowds because you're searching for possible threats and attacks. You are tense when you're in a building and you can't observe the area outside. So you focus on the doors because they're likely avenues of approach. They give us assorted medications, and it's always a crapshoot whether the medications will work or not. I fully endorse medical marijuana for veterans because in my experience, it picks up where many medications' benefits end or fail. Trust me when I say that medications do fail. It's a constant game of adjustments. And when the medications fail, many veterans begin to cycle that spirals them down into a hell that most eyes have never seen. When medication fails, all your senses go into a fight or flight mode. Smells and sounds can trigger the veteran at an alarmingly fast pace. You start getting the nightmares, the guilt, and you don't want to close your eyes. After extended periods of sleep deprivation, the mind slips and you cycle into mania as a natural survival response. Your thoughts race as you try to make sense of what's real and what isn't. Here's the really heartbreaking part. I know when this has occurred with me, I am aware that it is happening, but I am unable to stop it without intervention. That is one thing that I will say truly frightens me. Another thing that truly frightens me is the way that law enforcement is trained to handle these situations. Too often the veteran or law enforcement officer ends up dead or both. I can understand why veterans commit suicide daily. It's hard to get good psychological care at the VA and a lot of the VA hospitals across the U.S. There are doctors who, when you tell them what's going on, it falls upon deaf ears. Even worse, they've been waiting for what seems like forever to get the help that they need, or they've just been blown off and their claims have been denied because they're post-9/11 veterans and the system is overtaxed. At the time that I did this piece, I was up because I had just had another veteran commit suicide on one of my veteran sites. And I had a really close friend that was going through some survivor's guilt because of his 35th surgery that reminded him of the day that he lost so many. Thanks for your time.